Honourable Steve Chadwick.
I do want to take a short call on Clause 9 because I think I was hopeful that the member and the chair would get up. This is becoming quite a serious matter. This is the second week that we've been debating this bill, and we're very anxious to get it through, as I know the good people of Hamilton will be. But I am concerned, and I see some clarification coming into the chair, and I think this will be helpful, that in Clause 9b, that here we're going to have an entry on the computer register of the recreational reserve subject to the passing of this bill, which will be after the third reading. Now, we have in dispute, it's not really a bit of dispute at all, but we have an anomaly with the footprint size of this Parana Park Reserve. There's 0.9 of a hectare missing. Now, that is worrying if we're coming to finesse a bill today and this evening, and I can see the member in the chair has now got some clarification, that we cannot go and get this registered as a recreational reserve by the Hamilton City Council, as is able to happen under Clause 9.2b, if we don't know the actual size of the footprint of this park. And we're not prepared to go further with this until that is clarified in the House. And this is becoming quite serious. We're quite prepared to give a call to the member in the chair because I thought this was something that he would sort out. He's had 2 weeks, Mr. Chair. He's had 2 weeks, and we were accused of filibustering last time we came in the House. We were concerned that the actual size of this park is incorrect. We cannot deal with a piece of legislation before us seriously as lawmakers without being seen as a bit of a mockery if we're talking about the wrong size of the park. And this is a park that is being gifted to the people of Hamilton, and we in Labour say that we'll protect the assets built up by past generations so that Kiwis can own our own future. Now, this is all part of an asset that belongs to Kiwis, belongs to all New Zealanders. I've been to Parana Park with my children, and I'll go back. But we cannot get this recreational reserve registered until we know what we're registering. We know it's Parana Park, but for goodness sake, round the edges, there's 0.4 of a hectare missing. Now, you're a farmer, Mr. Chair, and you know what 0.4 of a hectare is. I'm not that sure myself, and it may seem as inconsequential and trivial, but it's not inconsequential and trivial to lawmakers to make sure that we're talking about the right thing. And I can see that the member sponsoring the bill on behalf of Hamilton City Council has now got some clarification from the survey maps, which will be something that I'm sure the Registrar General of Land, who is authorised and directed under this very provision in Clause 9, he's going to want to make sure that this never comes back to the House. We don't want this to come back to the House in the future, to have to debate again as a local bill, because we've got to correct the record, and it is really as simple as that. And so we've got to a bit of a breakdown here that we want to make sure before we support this bill, because it's a wonderful bill for Hamilton, but we do want to make sure that we're protecting those assets that George Parr donated, and that Labor believes ought to be protected and never hopped off, and we won't allow that. So we want the children of future generations to enjoy this park in its fullness, Mr. Chair, in its fullness, which means we seek clarification on that clause. And I don't think we can proceed to Clause 10 debate in the interests of trying to get this committee stage through. We cannot proceed to Clause 10 until we've got clarification. I don't think it's something I take so seriously as to call back the Speaker. It's not a breakdown here, but we do need some clarification, and we're simply seeking and entreating the member in the chair who's getting his head around the previous land records with the Registrar General. Perhaps, Mr Chair, we could call the Registrar General and not the Speaker to the Chair.
Louise Upson.